All right, so what do we have here? We have the root of all knowledge. Here can integrate all fields of knowledge, no matter what it is, all philosophies and all theologies, whether you are Islamic, whether you are Christian, it all merges into this, it all comes from this. This is the field of knowledge of all fields. And somehow we lost it. Well, somehow. It was the persecution and suppression from inquisitional means and entities that cannot benefit from this, which will give free energy, because the world once knew this only a few hundred years ago in the Tartarian Empire. It was free energy, and they also had all of this knowledge. And not only that, did they have they were a permaculture society. There was no agriculture. We just foraged and lived in the cities as well, but just the earth was a paradise. And that was usurped, it was destroyed, that world was shattered, and this was the knowledge that was fundamental to it. And you'll be learning this today. So, atom is the key word. It is the atom, and it is what we call the torus field. It makes what I call the Trinity, the atom, the torus, and the bull. And those are the three fundamental key words of all languages, of all words. They are the most important words you will ever understand and know. The bull, the TOR, and atom. It is a one. The atom is one. It means one. But it is three. And this is the mystery of the Trinity. The one is three. So what I've done is I've put all the Trinities above on the top here, starting with the most common Trinity that we all know. Kronos, Rhea, his consort, and Zeus. Time, chronology. This is time. This is space. Area. Remember the lexicograms. And then this is form. Matter. Time, space, matter. Which corresponds to the neutron, the proton, and the electron. The neutron is all time. Proton is future. Electron is past. Spirit. Rhea actually means soul in Sanskrit. The counterpart of Rhea, which is Radharani, means soul. It is the soul, Ra. Ra means soul. Is Ra-El. All these trinities are the same thing, by the way, different fields of knowledge. Here you have mythology. Here you have science, spirituality or theology. Again, scripture, Israel. This is the spirit, the I am. This is the soul, and this is the body, the electron. The proton is the soul. Going across. Rest, motion, vibration, resonance. This is very important to get this right. Gravitation. Not gravity, gravitation. The electron is gravitation. The electron is gravitating inward, blue. The proton is radiating outwardly, radiation. Ra, 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 ra. Magnetism is radiation. Magnitude. That's magnetism. Radiation is radial. Very, very important. This is what Ken Wheeler was talking about. The Z-axis radial dielectric component. All waves that radiate are dielectric. all waves that vibrate are transverse electric waves. So you see, rest and motion, dielectricity is rest, magnetism is motion, electricity is motion which creates. It's kinetic energy, and this is motion energy which manifests. This is the plane of inertia. This is represented by the red torus, magnetism, and electricity will go with the blue. As you'll see, they're all interchangeable anyway. But this trinity and how I've declinated it is exactly how it is. Don't change any of it, because this is the key. You'll understand that all these trinities are important. I've only got a short list here. There are many. Any trinity you know, a trinity in unity that you know, it's all the same thing. It's all this. Nothing is not this. Time is the pulse that comes from here. It's the heartbeat. This is space, and together they make this form. And your body, you have a torso. Well, that's a torus field. The blue convergent light is coming in at the top here. The red is radiating down at the bottom, and it's coming back around. So your torus is your torso. And here you can see the head of the man. This is the neck, throat chakra, heart chakra. Yellow should be here, orange, red. See, the torus torso knows about blue shift, red shift. No problem, your body. This is the rainbow. You've got ultraviolet, ultra above, and infrared below.
I was going to say a trinity about atom. It's a trinity within itself, because A is like Allah or astrology, and I see the T in tum as alchemy or the cross, that which is crucified, and then Om is the sound, so that'd be theology. So in essence, atom is the trinity: astrology, alchemy, and theology, language within itself. I just noticed that.
Yes. Essentially, this is the three fields of philosophy as well. So it's physics, ethics, and logic. You see, that's what the world's current world system, which runs big pharma and all of this corrupted type treatment, they've persecuted the logic, ethics, and physics, which is, again, another trinity.
Yeah.
We're going to find that atum is all of this. It's 10 numbers, actually. This is the tetractys of Pythagoras. So it's a oneness, it's a two-ness, it's a three-ness, and a quadruplicity. So we do have a duality, a trinity universe, and a quadruplicity. Yes. So we're going to see that. Árbol in Spanish, tree. In all the European languages, bol is a tree. Tree, TR, is a tori, because a tree looks like a torus. In Latin, it's arbor. So either way, bol or bor, because the L and the R are interchangeable. The most important interchangeable of all the letters are L and R. 50% of penetrating all knowledge is to understand these two interchangeables, L and R. This is why in all languages they're always confused, fused. In Japan, they don't say rice, they say lice. Okay, so, and in Asia, everywhere, you see, because the lie, they are produced in the same place. So this is a very, very important thing to understand here, how these two are the most important letters in all of these interchangeables. So going back to the trinities, I neglected to point one out, and that is black light is the cube, white light is the sphere, and this Star of David type tetragonal shape, red shift, blue shift. So the red triangle is pointing upward, it's the male phallic, and the blue is the uterus. Interesting, it's opposite. You see how they're interchangeable. This will happen all the time. You'll see many, many, many interchangeables here. The cube is in counter space. It is rest. It is where everything rests. I made a model of that cube from Walter Russell with a sine wave in it, and the vortices coming from the centre. And this is always in counter space, the cube. So when we come to words like Kabbalah, what is the science of Kabbalah? Well, it's the science of cube, and ball. And this is ball, it's dealing with spheres, balls. That is the word for ball. Okay, so I've made a list here of all the things that this hyperbola is. It's all these things, and we'll see how they are in all the languages. How it is all these things. In the centre here, there is the black and white light. This is the black light going in, and it's also the blue light. Okay, but the black, it's not going in. It's when you look at Ken Wheeler's magnetic viewing film, he says the dielectric black light is where you don't see any light, and that is convergent light, centripetal. Whereas the white light you see in his ferrocell, that's magnetic white light, force and motion, and that is centrifugal and divergent, and that's here. And so here is where the black and white light is. Dark matter, all of that stuff, it's all this. There's only these three things: dielectricity, magnetism, and electricity, as we're going to learn. We're going to learn about the two kinds of waves: the scalar wave, longitudinal, standing wave, and then we're going to learn about the transverse wave, which has a transverse component. Remember, Ken Miller was talking about the z-axis radial component, dielectricity, and then the other energy, which is transverse. So what we see here, that these are the two conjugate co-principles of the universe: rest and motion, or inertia and acceleration, force and motion. According to Ken Wheeler, inertia and acceleration, force and motion, the two conjugate co-principles of the universe. They're very important to start nice and slowly and understanding these fundamental things. This is the black and white yin and yang. The red and blue yin and yang, as in the South Korean flag, this is red shift, blue shift, and you'll see this everywhere in the universe. The ambulance, red light, blue light. The police siren. Okay? Red pill, blue pill. Roses are red, violets are blue. Republicans are red, Democrats are blue. And that is the world of polarity. The black and white world, it has polarity, but it's transcendental polarity. It's not polarization based on ignorance, where something not similar is a threat to you, or is good or evil. over there in the black and white world is the transcendent world. That is the scalar wave. And the scalar wave is radiation. So it's like when you throw a stone in a pebble, you'll get radial waves, and they expand and get larger and larger every time. That's the power of the radiation waves of magnetism. Very, very different to the vibratory waves of electricity. Vibration is inferior to radiation. When the ripples radiate radially from the centre of the pond, that's the standing wave, the longitudinal wave. And as there is pressure in the water, as it ripples outwardly, that pressure creates a bulge. And now you have a vibration, you have a wave doing this, going out radially. And that's the transverse wave. That's what we call electricity. It's perpendicular to magnetism. It's the Holy Cross. This is the Holy Cross. The phallic in the middle, and the plane of inertia here. Plane of inertia becomes planet of Earth. The plane of the Earth is the planet of the Earth. Here is what's known as the North Pole. Pole. We can make that a P. Okay, so polarity, to polarize. See, white light, when it first starts to radiate, it does redshift first, then blue shift instantly thereafter. And so it radiates outward first. Redshift is always first. The first colour is red from white, and then blue, then green. And so here you see the polarization is sevenfold. It's the electromagnetic spectrum, right here in your body, the rainbow. And so it has the radiating energy. Redshift is always bigger than the blue. The blue is more compressed. It's compressing here. So it's disproportional. Here you have 5. The size of this is 5, and the size of this is 1. 1 to 5. So it's like a pear-shaped, little chubby at the bottom. It's also like an egg or a pine cone. Blue shift is always the small portion. Red shift is always larger wave, longer wave. See, I've put a cross here. 4. This is called the 4-petaled chakra, the base chakra. 4 is the number of death. Shi in Japanese, death, shinda. Because 4 is foundation, and that's Malkuth. The heart chakra, this has 12 petals. And then, of course, the blue one is the 12-petaled lotus. Now, most people will not know this about the chakras because they think this is some kind of a new age, weird sort of a invention by some crazy people. No, it's not. Red has that power of 4. Blue, 16, is 4 times 4. You get a laser light, a blue laser light, and sure it's going to have a lot more capacitance, potential, or power than red. And because it has higher capacitance, these petals relate to its nature in every way. And that number 16 is very, very pertinent. It comes to 7. And the letter P is the 16th letter of the alphabet, 7. The letter P, polarization, means to polarize in 7. This is the perfect polarity, 7. But it is also a polarity of 2. Red shift, blue shift. What we have, bol is blue. Tor is rot, red. This energy here, blue, is left turning, blue shift, centripetal, convergent. Left turning, blue shift, centripetal, convergent. Gravitation. Gravitation, radiation. Walter Russell speaks about these two co-eternal principles of the universe. Here you have fusion, here you have fission. So hydrogen goes toward fusion, whereas heavy metals, plutonium, uranium, go towards fission because they have to radiate and break off, whereas hydrogen has to fuse with other elements and make helium, and that's why you have a hydrogen bomb and the uranium bomb at both ends of the spectrum. One is fusing, one is in fission. And here we have charge, negative electricity. Here you have discharge, positive electricity. Right turning, red shift, divergent, centrifugal. Right turning, red shift, divergent, centrifugal. Blue is left turning. It's very, very important. One of the most important things that you can ever understand at this point is that blue electron is left turning and compressing, compacting. Red light is right turning. The R and the R go together. The L and the left in the blue go together as well. The two letters L and R, those sacred interchangeables. L is the 12th letter, R is the 18th letter. 6 plus 6, 6 plus 6 plus 6. R, red, rage, radiate, is the number 666, the letter R. What you have fundamentally is the colour and the way they turn go together. Red is right, blue is left. Now this is, I can base this on science and we'll have a look at that later on in the PowerPoint presentation. I just want to get through all these words and bring them across in a way as to harmonise them. So what we have here, the torus, you'll find in many, many parts. In anatomy it's the torso. In the Bible it's the Torah. The tarot. It's the word for rotating. Rotating magnetic field. In the Bible, the name of God in Deuteronomy 32 verse 4, it calls God the rock. And the word in Hebrew is Tsur. T-U-R. This is Tor. Jupiter. Jupiter Zeus. Tor is another name for Jupiter and for Zeus. It's the Nordic, Celtic name, Tor. So, and that's this. It is Tor. It's that part of the Trinity. And so that's where in the book of Job 38:32, God talks to Job and says, do you know the Mazzaroth? Sir is the same word as in star. Star is Tor, tar. Remember, all the vowels are interchangeable. So a star is a Tor. See? It's a storm. Torpedo. You'll see the word in things that turn. Tornado. So this is the eye of the bull. The bull's eye. The eye of the storm. Storm. Turning. Torque. Torsion. tension. They're all the same words. It all comes from this. All words come from this. All words. So you see, the rod is backward for door, because it's the portal. It's the doorway. And the bowl becomes pole, becomes portal, because the R and the L become, the R and the L are interchangeable. So that becomes a portal, a door. Either way, you use the hyperbola or the torus, you still come to the word door. That's why it's all interchangeable, as you will see. There's many, many interchangeables on this board. There's an infinite number, and you'll make your own after you are inspired by this. By the way, I wanted to make another connection before I proceed. Chronos is Saturn. Sat becomes Set. Set becomes Seth. TH. Seth becomes Seth. PH. So this is Joseph. Maria is Maria. In the Nordic, Freya. Maitreya. That's Maria. Joseph and Mary. Jupiter, Zeus, that's Jesus. Always bear that in mind, please, because you're going to have an infinite amount of proofs that this is so. And this is the only way to understand all things. You must understand that the Greek philosophy is one and the same as the Jewish and Christian. They're all the same. They're all this. The division has occurred because monotheistic powers have taken over, appropriated the buildings of Christianity and churches. They've brought about an antichrist false Christianity, which is satanic, and it's persecuting this knowledge. This is Christian knowledge. It's Islamic knowledge as well. It's very important to make those connections.